Hey homeschooling mums and dads, this is Abhinav for Homeschooling in London. Haven't been on in a while, and I thought I'd just pop in and chime in, just to sort of update you guys. There's nothing really major to talk about actually, but just thought I'd have a little chit chat with you guys. I've noticed in the past couple of months that or say a couple of months, about a month or so, that more people in the UK are actually homeschooling now. And I noticed from my Facebook page, because there was the two mums who their kids were at school and they pulled them out of school, and now they're actually homeschooling them. And one of the mums actually spoke to me and said to me one of the reasons why she decided to take the plunge in homeschool because she saw my video, and I posted like my video that I did on about why I started homeschooling on my Facebook page, and she saw it and she watched it and decided from that moment that she was going to homeschool her child because her child's been having problems, issues in school, and she was like, you know what, this is it, like she can do it, so can I. And so she's taken her son out of school and she's homeschooling. So I felt quite happy about that actually. It made me feel like at least the videos that I am making on here, even though they're not as frequent as they were before, they are actually inspiring somebody to actually take the plunge and make a change and think outside the box and do something different, as opposed to what their friends might be doing. I will say that when I first started homeschooling, I was really scared of what people would say. In terms of friends and family, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this because people are going to think I'm crazy. And I started to really think about it, and I thought, actually, I think outside the box anyway. I've always kind of been like that. Even when I went down the route that my parents wanted me to go down in terms of education and stuff, I always kind of did things in a different way. I would go against what the teacher would say or the lecturer would say for us to do, and I'd always get my good grades, but I'd always go against their blueprint, so to speak, and do things my own way. So, what I've been trying to do is encourage my friends to think outside the box. If they feel that things aren't going right for them, think outside the box instead of just kind of like going with the grain. Instead of going against the grain, going with the grain and just kind of doing things by the book because they think that that's the way to do it. They think society is the way society is. We should just adhere to everything that society has laid out for us, so to speak. Instead of kind of making our own way. And I started to think about it recently. I was thinking, actually, I kind of go against the grain anyway, generally, being vegan, I'm going against the grain. Working for myself, working from home, I'm going against the grain because not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people actually have the guts to do it. So these past couple of months, I've been going on a journey of just total self-discovery and self-love. Because originally, when I first started homeschooling, I had a lot of anxiety, and my depression was really quite severe at that point. But I went into it full force and said, right, I'm going to do this anyway. And if you'd watched some of my videos previously, you might have seen, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I've had enough of this. I want to sort of throw in the towel with it. But at the moment, I'm on a juice cleanse, juice and a smoothie cleanse, and I'm documenting on my other channel, Eat Fresh, Live Fresh, having a juice now. And I feel really energetic, really elated, really ready to face the challenges of the next few months, years, on this homeschooling journey and on my own journey of self-discovery, self-love, and my own journey of making things happen for myself in terms of making certain dreams that I have come true. And I think that's quite important as well. I think that even if you're somebody who is a homeschooling mum, you don't work and you don't necessarily want to kind of do a job, I'm sure you have dreams. I'm sure you've always had a dream other than being a mum and being a stay-at-home mum. I'm sure there's been something that you've always kind of wanted to do. And I think that it's important that as mums, we kind of make sure that we actually fulfill our dreams or goals or aspirations in life. It might not necessarily be to the full extent of what you wanted it to be, but you could do something that could help you feel fulfilled outside of motherhood. I mean, I've spoken to mums that say their dream and their goal in life was always to be a mum and stay at home mum, and that's it. But I'm not sure if I believe that, I'm sure at a young age you might have sort of sat down and thought, you know what, I want to be a photographer or a singer or or I want to work with disadvantaged children or something like that. I'm sure there's something that you probably have given up. That's a question. What did you give up to become a homeschooling mum and to stay at home and do it full time? Even people that go to work and they still homeschool, I mean, they take it in turns with their partner or something. I think a lot of people that do homeschool have given something up or have to give something up in order to do it. What did you give up? What did I give up? I'm asking myself the question. Well, in a way, I'm living my dream now anyway. I always said I wanted to make a living from writing, whether it be creative writing or as a journalist. And as you guys already know, I run an online media company, so I write all day, every day, for money, whether it be through clients or through just money, online money. What did I give up? I'll tell you one thing I did give up, and I'm going to go back to it, so it's not something I've necessarily given up for good. I gave up travelling around the world, working as a travelling journalist, because I had a contract with a very well-known media company, offline media company. It publishes some very well-known publications, and I had a job with them. It was a contractual job, and it was through my company, Intrigue Media, anyway, but I was going to go along as well as a few other writers. A few other writers did end up going, and I didn't go because I had to kind of focus on my child. Like, there was no way that I could take, unless I had a nanny with me 24/7 to help me, I wouldn't have been able to go, because I wouldn't have been able to go on the jobs and stuff like that. When I go and interview people, I couldn't take him with me. My partner could have probably helped out, but really it wasn't possible at that time for him to help. So it basically meant that I couldn't go. So in a way, I gave that up. What the hell? Sorry, someone's just asking me a question on my thing. Yeah, so basically, that's what I gave up. And do I sit down sometimes and think, oh, for goodness sake, I really wish I'd gone? Yes, I do. And I'm not going to lie, hell yes. Sometimes I sit there and I'm like, oh, I should, I'm sitting here doing this, I should have gone, but then there's about 80% of the time I'm like, okay, well, at the end of the day, things happen for a reason, and at the end of the day, I'm doing what's best for my child, and as a result of not going, I've gained a lot of opportunities. I've had a lot of opportunities that I've actually been able to do, because of the fact that I was in this country, and if I did go, I wouldn't have had those opportunities. So in a way, it's been a blessing that I didn't go. So yeah, everything's going really well. Qmon is fantastic for the literacy, which is what I'm doing for literacy. Love it. My son, he has a love-hate relationship with Kumon. Some days he wants to do it and he wakes up in the morning and he is absolutely just ecstatic to do it. Like, he's like, right, I want to do more than one book. Like, I'm really excited to do it. And then some days he doesn't want to do it. And I'll be honest with you, the days that he doesn't want to do it, I don't force him. And I think one of the things with Kumon is that they say that you have to do it every day, and if you don't do it every day, then it means that you're sort of having gaps in your learning. And I've found that with my son, if he doesn't want to do it, I do not force him to do it. What I do is, say for example, the words that he's learning for that specific unit, I will just use the flashcards for those, and we'll play a game, or we might just kind of like talk about the words. I'll just ask him like a question about a specific word and say, oh, do you know a word that rhymes with that word? Can you see anything that rhymes with that word in this room? You know, or we'll just go out to the park and we'll just like see if we can find something that's red. See if we can find like red car, a red jumper, red bag. Like, you know, so I'll say to him, if you see a red car, point to it. If you see a red jumper, point to it. If you see a red handbag or red shoes or anything that's red, that's point to it. Like, so we'll play a game with the words that he's doing for that specific module, and then we'll just go back to it. We'll revisit it. So the next day we'll probably have to do two booklets over a period of time. So in the morning we'll do one, and then maybe in the afternoon when he's kind of had a nap and just chilled out a bit, I'll say, do you want to do Kumon? And he'll say okay, and then we'll do the Kumon. So it's not, I don't force it upon him. Like, some people have said, oh my gosh, Kumon's really strict. Like, it's not really a good idea for a 5-year-old to do Kumon, blah blah blah. But I actually think it's been really good for my son. Like, I've seen massive progression with him. Like, I don't think I would have achieved that level of progression with what I was doing. And it's not because the work that I was giving him wasn't good or wasn't effective, but it was, I found that because of the fact that I was getting a little bit stressed out in terms of creating a program, a tailored program for him, and they created a tailored program for him. They identified his strengths and his weaknesses, and they said, right, this is what we need to work on. Whereas with maths, he's not finding it difficult. So as difficult. So I'm teaching him that in a kind of more organic way. And all the other topics I'm teaching him in the same kind of way, in a very organic way. So yeah, everything's going really well with homeschooling at the moment. I'm really happy. I feel happy in myself as well, which is something that I think that if you're a mother or a father, a parent generally, if you don't feel good within yourself, it can actually really affect how efficient you are as a parent, and how effective you are as a parent. And I've noticed that, like, when I feel like crap, like, my parenting skills kind of go out the window a little bit. Like, I find it really difficult to just manage the day-to-day kind of things that I would be able to manage if I felt fine. And I'm talking about feeling confident in yourself as well. Like, I'm not just talking about like health, as in physical health, or mental health, or so to speak, but I'm also talking about being confident within yourself, self-love. Like, if you have that self-love, you exude a certain positive energy that rubs off on your child. And if you feel really what's the word, low on confidence, it kind of rubs off on your child. And I've noticed that my son can be sometimes very scared to do things. Like, he'll look at me and go, can I go? I'll do it. And that's because I am quite a hesitant person. Not as much now, but I used to be like that. I'm working on that quite a lot. And so because of the anxiety, I'll be like, oh, I'm not sure if and he does that sometimes. He'll be like, oh, I don't know if I can go and play. I'm like, go, So anyway, yeah, this video is 15 minutes. I just wanted to just do a little rambling video, homeschool update, and just sort of how you guys doing, how's everything going with your homeschool journey. And yeah, what did you give up? That's the question of the day. What did you give up to be a homeschooling parent? And what have you gained being a homeschooling parent? Okay, let me answer this question. What have I gained? I've become so much more patient. I used to be such an impatient person with everything. Like if I need to get to a certain place, I need to be on time. And if people are not on time, I'm completely just going completely nuts. Like I'm not so much like that anymore. I've become a little bit more laid back generally. I'm a lot more organised as well. I'm the kind of person that I can work on 20 different projects in my mind, and those 20 different projects will be getting done. Like in my head, they will be being planned, and then eventually I'll start doing those 20 different projects all at the same time, just different, so I'll start a little bit and then I'll move on to the next bit and move. Eventually everything will get done, but I always work like that, and I still work like that, but I've made it a little bit easier, a little bit more simplistic for myself. So I've kind of created a program, a schedule. What can I say? What words can I use? I've tailored it so that it's just more simplistic, so to speak. So more patient, more organised, a bit more tolerant, more confident in myself as a parent and just as a woman. I've gained some amazing friends from it as well. And my son's gained some good friends from it too. It's enabled me to, bond with my son on a different kind of level, and we managed to write a book together, which is an amazing thing. Never thought I'd do that with my son. I did it when he was 4 years old. Loads of things. Yeah, and I've just got a lot of tips from other mums. If I didn't start homeschooling, I probably wouldn't have been so interested in like parenting blogs, because when I first started, when I first gave birth and everything, before that I was going on the baby centre websites and Mumsnet and Net Mums, those kind of sites, and just like talking to people. But I didn't really read the blogs that much. I started reading them, and then I was like, I just didn't really want to read them anymore, because I started to feel kind of a bit inadequate. I'd read something and I'd be like, I don't do that. Like, why don't I do that? I'm not sure. Like, maybe what I'm doing is wrong. Maybe I'm not a very good parent. Maybe, I started questioning myself a lot, so I stopped reading them. But now I've started to read parenting blogs a lot more and look at them more objectively, rather than look at it and go, oh, I don't do that. I look at something and go, that's a good idea. Let me file it away. And if I need to do something like that at some point, I will refer back to it and, see if I could gain some tips from what they've done. So, and from that I've gained friends from that as well. I've also gained business contacts through parenting blogs and through parenting forums and stuff. I've networked quite a lot. So that's what I've gained. Anyway, his video is 20 minutes long, so gotta go. Thanks a lot for watching his webinar for homeschooling in London. And yeah, I'm doing this juice fast, and if you're interested in seeing how I'm feeling on the juice fast and everything, I'm on day 4 at the moment. And if you're interested in finding out like how I'm feeling and everything, then yeah, check out my other channel, youtube.com/vegan fresh, which I will just post a link below anyway. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.